Well, that was strange, but normal, I guess. Great. Great. My internet just entirely crashed again. So yeah, fun. What the heck was that glitchy looking thing? Yeah. Okay. Ah, yes, all the timer blocks. Amazing. Wait. Where did I... What? Where did I put those ones? Oh, wait, they're right here. Right. Yep, okay. Makes more sense now. Alright, let's see. You know what? There is something. Yeah, pipes. These can be used as transportation. Actually, so if I remember correctly. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is going to be useful. This is nice because it can be used in place of other things. However, those other things are unknown as of right now. Alrighty, let's see. What did I just get rid of from my inventory? I don't know. Alright, let's try this. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem, isn't it? Alright. How should I do this? Right in there, of course. Take me down, elevator. Take me down. This is quite the slow elevator. Why is there... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why. This is a slow elevator. But good enough for me. Alright, let's see. Okay, here. There.
Fuel critical.
Alright, now pipes. Alright. These pipes again. Shoot, what's this? Timer block, okay. Another timer block. Here we are. Okay, wait. So how do I do this turn? Oh, wait a second. Nope, other one. You got it. Pipe curved mirrored. Wait, no, that don't work. Oh wait, I see what I have to do now. Let me grab the other one again. Perfect. Okay, so then... Wait a second. Oh wait, that is an opening. Got it. Okay. I got so confused there for a second. There. So wait, where can I place these things? So, can I actually do that? That's my question. And how do I get it back to that? There are so many questions I must get answered soon. Okay. Yeah, how do I connect these up now? No. That's right. Still need a conveyor to connect to the back. So, here, you know what? Let this be the conveyor that's connecting to the back. There, that can go. Now, you know what, I bet this would just be a lot easier if I just did conveyors. Sure, maybe it adds a little decoration, but honestly, conveyors are just easier to use in this situation. Oh yeah, now I don't need to do this, so... Alright. Wait, where does this connect? Okay, so it can connect on the bottom. Can it connect on the top? Yes, it can. Okay. Oh, excuse me for a quick moment. Alright. Oh, I figured it all out.
Fuel critical.
Hopefully. I don't like how it's sticking out. Not here. I'll put one there. And you know what? I'll just do this instead. So, right here. Then get it to turn up. Conveyor junction.
Meteor storm inbound.
Conveyor junction. Now I can place a block here. Oh my gosh, it's so small. There. Now I just have to come up here. Connect them all up. And we're all good. So now I can just do that. I can even hop in here, change my appearance. Yeah, this is nice. This is real nice. So, because I've still got a mods installed, there's also a little other thing I have. First aid stations, which just heals you up. So, I'll put 3 here. There. So, now of course, we do have nanites for healing as well, but now I can just heal myself like that. Like, holy cow, that went fast. Then we could also give a little refill here. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, well. Yeah, this works nicely. So, I'll have these pipes going up against the roof when I eventually install it, because over here is going to be a little special area. Okay, so, you know what? That's a good size. Oh, wait, actually, I can just use this instead. Never mind, I don't need pipes running up against the wall. I can just use that, or the ceiling. I can just use this as what I need. And you'll see what I'm doing in a moment. If anybody is still watching. Cryo chamber. So... Alright. Now... Alright, there we go. Hold up. Oh, I can switch between them. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. Now that can be hooked up there. You can just put a catwalk above these ones. In fact, we'll put one in front of every single one just so it feels a little more normalized. If that's what you want to say. Alright, perfect. Ooh. Well, that's one way to get up. And so... There. Now, catwalk. You can put a steel catwalk up there. And this is for all the people, so if anybody wants to comes here, they can stay here as well. Like, I can just why can't I enter there? I can just enter this cryo chamber and move on with life. What? Ice. Oh yes, there is ice there.
Fuel critical. So how... Okay, Alright, you know what? Let's get some stairs.
Then windows. Perfect. Now we just do this. Oh, shoot. Catwalk. Perfect. No, wait, not that catwalk. Catwalk. Perfect. Much better. Alright, now let's see. 1 by 2. There. Now you got a nice window area. Windowed area. Now this place is feeling a lot more cozy, but I'm going to take it one step further. And add a balcony. Alright, let's get some railings in here. Yeah, don't worry, it's totally not floating. Alright, awesome. Now let's get some decoration here. There. Decor. What type of decor do we want? Oh yeah, the showers. You know what? Why not? Just for the fun of it. We'll have a small shower block here. Walk. Alright, what else? What else? Yeah, we need that. We need a door again. What if I were to use this type of door? Right, that door doesn't work. What if I were to use the industrial door? Alright, this door doesn't work either. Oh wait, yes it does. Let's just use... You know what, I didn't try this one entirely then. Yeah, look at that. I like it. Yep, now there's a shower. So you can just head into one of these, close it up, and just shower. If you could fit. These things are quite small. Why does it sound so dull? Like it's muffled a bit. Yeah, everything's muffled now. Huh. Well. You know what? Let's install just an industrial door here because why not? I feel like it. Perfect. It's nice. Alright, yeah, this is looking quite nice. Feels nice and cozy. Then of course you got this thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something. It's quiet. You know what? Do we not have speakers? No, we do. Is it like a sound block or something? Yeah, it's a sound block. Okay, you know what? What if I were to do something like this? Now let me check this out. You know what? Let's go lounge music. Yeah, that's not lounge music. Oh. Feel like heavy fight. There's so much awesome music. Fun music. Oh my gosh, I found it. Yes! Alright, you know what? We'll have one speaker in every room then. Just because music. Oh, right. Light. We still need some light in here. So yeah, speakers. They're going everywhere now. Every single room will have at least one of them. Because music. Huh. It's music. You can't not love it. Alright, up we go. You know what? I should have some elevator music. That could be an excellent idea. Alright. Oh, we're reaching to the top. Tay, yes. There, finally. Perfect. Alright. Music! You cannot stop me. I have music on my mind. That was some great music. It will now play throughout the entire facility, or compound, whatever it's called. I'm not sure what to call this place. It's a base. That's it. You know what? That's it. That's all it is. It's just a base. Clunk. Down I go. This elevator is about 10 times shorter than that other elevator, but yet takes the same amount of time to get down. Don't question me. I purposely did that, but I might change it in the future. perfect sound. There. There. Now we can get through all the way. The reactor room. One of the most disgusting rooms in this place, but yet it's lovely. I just destroyed a reactor. Not here. Let's just remove that. Replace it with that. Wait, hold up. I gotta make sure that I'm placing it incorrectly. Yep, I am. Awesome. Param. Alright. Down the hall. You can go through these doors next. I believe yeah, this is the, yep. Alright, I knew which room this was. Place one in here. This entire facility shall be loaded up with speakers so that you can hear the music wherever you are. It's the perfect plan, as I can play battle music and get all my troops alerted in the mornings as they think we're under attack. It's the best plan ever. Is that green? That is green. Great. Alright. Alright, well. Not control panel. So what is this place? Is it a facility? Is it a compound? A base. You know what? It's a base. I should drop the base. I wish I knew how to implement my own music. That would be greatness. Alright, block group, base, music. Perfect. Earth-like music. What's this? I found my calling. This is greatness. Yes. There are too many speakers, huh? This might be resulting in some problems. No, I wonder. I'm just going to put down one sound block or speaker, as it really should be called. I'm just going to place it down right here. So that one speaker that isn't a part of the rest of the group, I'm going to... How do I get closed beta? What? Closed beta? Wait, what closed beta? I'm confused. I don't know of any closed beta. No! No! No, 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 no! Whew. Okay, that was close. You know, I wonder, can I set up like a button panel to just have it play different types of music? In fact, you know what? for Xbox. Oh. Well, it depends what you're on. I believe on PC, if you, I believe there's an app you can download. Alright, I'm going to turn all those off. Then, music. There. I'm going to turn this off. Or, sound. There. The one sound block. Now, I'm going to increase its range to max. And let's listen if we can hear it from up here even. Yeah, I believe if you're on PC, there's an app you can download on the Microsoft App Store. Oh shoot, that's danger music. Oh my gosh, you can hear it throughout the entire base. It's perfect. Sound block 28. Yeah, Xbox download inside app. I can't remember. I couldn't remember exactly. Wait, was it 28? You know what? Ace sound. No problem, friend. Shoot. Entire bass sound. Sweet bass, thank you. I've been working on it for hours. Although, I'm not the greatest designer. And yet it still has a long way to come. Okay. Bass. Entire bass music. Play. Stop. Oh, Mr. Loon. Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure what else to say. But thank you, friend. That is much appreciated. Okay, I guess that's it. Nope. No problems. Yeah. Only thing is, I will I will give you a quick warning that sometimes when you download a beta thing, it's kind of hard to get rid of sometimes because
Storm inbound.
What was that? Alright, doesn't matter. I've done it before. I've done a beta thing for Minecraft Bedrock, and I've had problems with it. Anyways, let me go back here. Where is mine? Here it is. It's edit. It's not Tay. It's perfect. I hear meteors. Thankfully, I should not be hit. Alright. Oh, as I slowly go around and find them, I'm going to slowly delete speakers. Now that I know that one speaker can take up the entire base. Ah. Down we go. No problem. I just don't. Yeah. It was difficult for me to get rid of it afterwards. I had to uninstall and reinstall Minecraft like 20 times, figuring it out. And I still don't exactly understand how I fixed it, but I fixed it, and that's all that matters. Alright, upstairs. Alright. There's just this little thing here. Why? No. I want to delete that. No! Not that! You know what? Screw it. When in doubt, just do that. Yeah, walls. You know what? It could be a good idea to wall this thing in so people don't go falling. There. Down we go. Oh, I've got a friend who's messaging me. Alright. Okay, I need to speed up these pistons. This is far too slow. And look at it. Wait, I can... Oh! Dang it. Well. Alright. Up I go because I messed up. Hold up, hold up. What is that? Oh, it's the antenna and the beacon. Oh, okay. Now I go through here. I bring this up. You know what? You know what? Door. Let's just install a rotary airlock here, because they're great. I actually quite like this. It's a nice little thing. Ah. Not only that, but I like this music. It's nice and calming. I think it was a good idea installing that sound block. Alright, there. Let's go around. Sound block. I'm realizing now that I could probably use an outside door somewhere else. Ah, yes, the beautiful shield generator. The thing that keeps us safe from the meteors. And everything else. Has door, it has retractable stairs, which I'm going to use. I'm going to bring them back up so for safety. Just do a little work on this thing even though there is no point to it. Hey. Yep, alright. Now all I do is this. What? Ah, there we go. I do like these little retractable stairs. They can become quite handy sometimes. Ooh. A little too fast, I think. Oh, and I do respawn here. That's good. That's good news. Little too fast. Only a little, though. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else I should install into this base before I start doing other things in this world? Doesn't look like it. In fact, you know what? I've got an idea. Oh yeah, there's this speaker here. Alright, just over here, I'm going to bring out the stairs on both platforms. Alright, I'm going to move this thing. Shoot. I don't know how to use this thing at all, so... Tempest connector. Unlock. Oh no. Yeah. There we go. What? Oh. Wait, no? What? Tempest connector. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. That works better. Yeah, you know what? That didn't sound very good. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's just land here. And where's the projector? Where's the projector? Oh wait, it's on. Yeah. My man really out here with 0 viewers. I know, right? It's so weird. Meteor storm inbound. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Everything is kept in here. I bet the, what's it called? The nano bots picked it up, so. Okay, did they not? Strange. Alright, well. Also, how do you like the music? It's actually playing throughout my entire base here. Alright. Down I go. Into the depths of the underworld. Alright, Alright. Door opens. And it's not here. Great. Oh. Don't worry about it. Perfect. Now I've got everything back. Except ammo. There. Outside we go, huh? It's beautiful. Now the question is, what do we grab for our trip to space? Ooh, there's so much I've got here. You know what? There we go. Oh, geez. Paste anyways. Alright, well, up I go. Woo. Whoa. Okay. In I go. I could make this thing 100 times. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this thing 100 times better. With all the mods that I have installed. Haha. Alright, let's get some decoration in here. So, because this is a single thing for me, shower right there. Bam. Heck. Who knows? Furniture. Large bunk. Oh, geez. No. Bunk beds. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I do not like sleeping next to the void of space. So maybe we could get something else. Maybe something to replace that void. nothingness. What to replace it with? That's the real question here. I've got an idea. Let's replace it with the shield controller. Oh, there. Hey Ben, aren't we doing the Wither fight this weekend? Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I'm hoping to get a lot more people on. Or more members of the server to play at the same time, as so we can all beat the Wither and watch in satisfaction as it goes crashing down. Alright, where do I put this thing? As it withers away. My puns are terrible, but great. Specific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. That is the most specific time I can give you, friend. Yeah. Alright. Graphics. What's the difference between graphics and stats? Nothing. Okay. Look at that. That's nice. Tells me everything about the shield that I need to know. Shield enhancer. Ooh. Could I place this down somewhere? Maybe. Just maybe. Nah, actually nah. Gee, that's big. Okay, medium reflective. Visible on hit. Yep. Wait, you said PM, right? Yes, 10 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. for me. Is that it? Okay, let's see. Let's get some more stuff in here. Single bed, because this is my ship. There. And now I got a nice bed. That's 9 p.m. for you. Alright. Well then, we've got it set. Got a date set. Hopefully we'll have a lot of people doing it. Amazing. You know what? I've always wanted to use the bathroom on the edge of space. It's like, yeah. Haven't you ever wanted to do that? Oh, that's so good. Alright. What else do I need? Well, you know what, actually? I could install like a boarding ramp right over here. Maybe. You know what? First, let's just land this thing so I can edit it a little better. Oop, what did I hit? What have I hit? Oh. Okay, I'm far enough down. I would go into third person. Actually, I can do this instead. Look at this place. Oh my gosh, that is far too big to even fit on the platform. Oh, that's damage. There, we've landed. Ish. There, look at this. Nice landings. Nice parking spot, huh? What if I were to install... Nah. No boarding ramp. Going to try making some potions for the fight. Alright. Yeah, you do that. I was doing it earlier, but then I had to start training. Ooh, retractable landing gear. Now that's a good thing here. Although, it's kinda big. Much bigger than I intended. Huh. Alright, back outside. Maybe I'll just put like a boarding ramp here so I can actually get in and out with ease. Okay, yeah. Let's get some. Yeah, let's just put the landing gear here. Oh, okay. Apparently 3x1 landing gear. Actually, even bigger than that. Got gas tiers? Yes, I do in my inventory. I've left everything in my inventory, so yeah. That's a problem when you're making potions, huh? What? Landing gear. Why can I not place it here? Is it because the door? Probably. There we go. Okay. And then let's go back and grab some landing gear. What does this landing gear look like? Geez, that's some big landing gear. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. Yeah, I have blaze rods. Everything, as I said, everything that we need is in my inventory on the server. So. Oh my gosh, it's connected. Oh. All right, landing gear. Here we are. Switch lock. Then wait. Does it like automatically? Oh, wait a second. I bet that's it. No, that's not it. Got it. I'm gonna go head up into the atmosphere a bit. Check out the landing gear. Does it retract on its own? Gonna brew some straight swiftness in regen. Yeah, I've got materials for regens. What the? Okay. It's locked onto enemy targets, apparently. How do you retract it? There is no retracting feature with these things yet, as I can see. I mean, why can't they retract? That's my question. It's just aiming for it. Just like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot this thing up a few thousand times and then be good. Why? How do you... Wait, let's say I do this. Does that do anything to it? No, it doesn't. Got it. Oh, I just will remove it from there then. Alright, close the door. Oh, wow. Amazing. Alright, well. Alright, up we go. $2,000. 3,000. The heat level is rising. I don't care. This is what you call a atmospheric burn, right? That's what they call it, right? Heat level warning 500. I fear nothing. I'm pretty sure if it gets over 700, it starts to do damage and stuff, but look at that, we're already reaching space. How are we still going so fast? Wait a second. Look at that. We just came from there. Oh my gosh. Slow down. Slow it down. Yes, I have like an infinite speed mod installed. Ah, we are now in space. All right. Speed up! We're gonna ram it! No, I'm not actually gonna ram it. That would be a stupid idea. Alright. Oh yeah, and because we left its area, we no longer have music. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Slow it down, slow it down. There we go. .87 meters a second. Perfect. And we slowly go as we head for this factory. are. Is our landing gear have retracted yet? No, they haven't. It's called retractable landing gear. Oh, wait. What if I do that? Nope, that did nothing. Okay, we're coming in kind of fast. Yeah, too fast, too fast. Uh-oh. I'm not liking that. Look at that. Can I not take control of any of them? Okay. You know what? Gatling turret. I'm going to control so I can see. Okay. That thing's not moving anymore. Alright, we're safe. Alright. Time to head down to the factory. Okay. Factory acquired. Great, the ship is far too fast sometimes. You know what? I'm gonna use this as like an external camera. We have 3 splash potions of regen. Don't do splash wait, splash. Okay, you know what? Actually, splash potions aren't that bad now that I think about it. What? Uh-oh. What did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. Did I? Oh no. I came in too hard. Great. Wait, Tempest fighters. Hold up. We gotta work as a team, yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mayday, mayday, we are under attack. That's no good. Okay, that's not moving, that's fine. Yeah, this is no good. Okay. Okay, enemy signals are all about 1 kilometer out. Well then. Oh, Control. Where's the closest enemy? Why are those still not retracted? Oh, shoot, I can't reach him. Oh, wait, now I can. Oh, I'm going to need all arms on deck for this one. Okay. War! This means war! No assistance for you. I'm aboard that thing. I'm gonna go aboard that thing. I can't get out. There. Now I can get out. Okay. What? Oh, what? What's shooting me? Oh. Uh-oh. What? Where am I going? No, 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 no. Okay. What the heck is... Why is my... Oh, it's my dad. Okay. You know what? Warhead. This is the only way I know how to deal with things now. No, wait. Hacking computer. Hacking computer. The hack... Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. So how do these hacking computers work? Okay, give me a moment, please. Alright. You know what? Hacking computer's not going to work on this thing. Let's get a control panel. So this... What? What do you mean incomplete? Okay, where's my ship? Oh, there. Still being under... It's still under attack. No! No, I'm not supposed to die. I'll actually make them drinkable. Okay, we're good. Oh no! Okay, okay. You know what? No, I need to get to the shield. This thing, yeah. No. Shield charge rate up. Turn that up. Now, what's shooting me? There's a little gravity here. Normal, actual gravity. Uh-oh. You know what? No. Got it. Why can't my magnetic boots connect? It's because of the gravity? Okay. I'm taking over it! I'm taking it over. Okay. Okay, it seems to be going away. You know what? I'm going to try... Why won't they accept my peace offers? Ben, do we want lasting potions or potent potions? Lasting. Lasting would probably be better. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The UCMF Aurora has entered. I'm going for it.
Low health.
Uh-uh. You can't attack me. Okay, attach. Oh, no. Okay, now my question is, where else, what else do I have to grab? Okay, I took this thing, so I'm going to watch as I hack it, and I hack it. There, see? Magnetic boots are on, I think. Success! We're hacking it! Wait, hold up. There's a hacking computer, but... Okay, we're hacking it all! Wait a second. Problem is, there's gravity here. Oh. Oh my gosh, there's like an... I am going to take your ship, sir. What happened to him? What? You know what? Fine. Be that way. No hacking these things. Instead, have a little fun. Alright, where's my ship? Wait, body location. Uh-oh. Was my ship destroyed? I guess so. Well, that means I now need a large ship. You know what? This one will work. This one will work well. I killed myself on it. I'm going to spawn back on the planet, aren't I? What? It's still intact? Dang it, you know what? Can't beat them, join them. That's what I say. You can't beat them, you join them. In a way they won't expect. Okay, right, I need to stop charging the shield. shield controller 3. Down. Put the shield down. Where is it? You know what? I'm going for it. Uh-oh. I think it hit. Great. Well, I guess I'm going for this. My other ship. I may have accidentally crashed into their station. So, they may be very upset with me. Yeah. What's this? Alright. The Callisto. The Callisto. My ship. Wait, the IMDC. Wait, IMDC. Wait a second. If I paste in another one of these. Yeah, it's not mine. Okay. You know what? Fine if it's not mine. I'll hack it. Alright. You know what? Because this thing doesn't actually exist. And now, hacking computer. Yeah, I'm not in a good spot with anybody, apparently. There. Now it's all mine. To the bridge, I say. And actually, you know what? No, let's head down here. Let's do here. Ah, it's way down. Awesome. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, things just got hot. Awesomer. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Alright, well, we need a... Ooh, a Corvette. What does this look like? Yeah, that's far too big. Alright, Alright. Yes. Perfect. Where is the connector? Okay, I fell. Actually, wait a second. I should be using this connector. Okay, further back, much further back. Still need to go further back. And it can't even connect. Huh. Well, let's try something else, shall we? Yeah, same issue with that ship. Okay, we have 3 splash regen, 6. 3 splash regen, 6 swiftness, and 6 strength. Okay, that sounds like a lot. Probably still gonna need more, but we'll see. A bomber? A tiny bomber. Ooh, ho ho. This is exactly what we need for enemies. Transfer it all to me. Given the circumstances, you'll understand if this decision will take time. Oh. So, these things are like actual bots. Like insane AI. A little further. There we go. Connector 3. Lock. Landing gear. Lock. Perfect. If we only have 3 people, we should kill the Wither in less than 8 minutes, which is the time for strength and swiftness. Regen is 130 though. That'll be good still. Okay. This place is awesome. We've got a bomber. Alright, let's see. What else do we need? Ooh, a recon drone. So what's the difference between that and the other bomber? Where is it? Yeah, okay, where's the other bombers? Here they are. You know what? It says this one's better, I'm using it. Just want to be sure you said 10 p.m. Eastern, correct? Yes, I did. Alright, let's see. A little closer. There we go! Alright, connector. And lock. This is going well. Alright. Hey, can I just show this ship only? Okay, there. Now, some fighters that I can actually connect to the ship. You know what? We'll use a recon drone. What the heck? Okay, recon drone, I can go right there. Alright. We don't have any O2, huh? That's a problem. Oh wait, no, we do. We have O2. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, now, remote access. Recon drone. Control. Alright, terminal. Oh wait, is it connected? I think it's connected. I'm hoping it's connected. Remember, no reaching through the door. Okay, it's nearly connected. I just need to do this. There we go. Now that we've got all this down, let's do some doors. Great, I killed myself again. Oh, yeah. There. What the heck? Okay. Oh, that leads outside. Got it. Actually, I need to go out there. I need to place down my shield gen. Alright, Dark Star. There. 6. Shield emitter. I was thinking, what if we were to put it in, yeah, you know what, right there. Oh, there's no door there. Got it. There is a door here, though. I will use it. That's a ticket, and that's another ticket. Okay, you died. Now you're in trouble. You've gone far. Hold up. You've proven to be trouble in the past. We'll have to think. What the? Wait, what? Why can't I use it? Oh no, are we out of power? Oh, we're out of power, aren't we? Great. What? Quick batteries. Uh-oh. That's not what I meant to do. No, let's screw it. Whee! There goes my body. Right, let's head over to this asteroid here. I'm just going to leave those guys alone. I don't want to have 9. You have 9. Oh, Ben, I have 5 golden apples and you have 8, by the way. 9, you have 9. Oh. Oh, you do? Okay. We'll use those for the fight, probably. Those will be good. You got our eyes on you. I'm not trying to attack you! I'm sorry. Wait, say SCPD. Is that like the space police? SCPD. SPED? SCPD, Space Police. Okay. I think we are well prepared, Ben. You would be surprised. You would be genuinely surprised. Atlas class frigate Mark 1. Carrier Mark 3. Alright, let's get the carrier part Mark 3 back in here. That thing looks awesome. Okay. Dark Star. Shield ship meter. Ah, hello, JC. How are you, friend? Alright. Okay. Too fast. Artificial gravity. There's artificial gravity. Awesome. You're good? That's good to hear. Alright, let's get inside here. Oh, wait, actually. Righty. I'm going to delete that. Place that down. There. Nope. Okay, apparently it's freeze. Oh, wait, there. Guess there's no vents down there. When did you start streaming? Okay. I started streaming an hour, almost 2 hours ago now, friend. You know I have a schedule, right? Right? Is that not clear? Alright. Alright, let's head up here. Okay, down here again. Medium reflective, there. I just checked the uptime and about 1 hour and 34 minutes. Yeah, great. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot, this is another airlock, isn't it? Yeah, just as expected. There. guess we'll put it
Shield
right.
initializing. Start up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, it works. Alrighty. They decided to give me another shot. Yay! That's one weird smiley face, I will say that. Here. There we go. And now, we've got simple airlocks. Ow, what? Okay, apparently the airlock does not have oxygen in it. Still not? Okay, yeah, okay, don't go into them. Got it. There. Alright, we're good. I hope. Oh, nope. Nope. Apparently we're out of oxygen. Where's the vent? What do you mean it's not closed? Huh. What if I did this? Okay. Apparently not. What if I did this? Huh? Huh? Okay. So, apparently these doors don't work as well as I wished, but... Are you on an asteroid or a moon right now? Asteroid. For whatever reason, does not recognize that this room is 100% closed. Actually, wait a second. It does, actually. It realizes it is closed. Let me just do this so I can finish off all the airlocks. So that means there's something around. Oh, jeez. That means there's something open in the area. If we give you another chance, what's in it for us? Shoot, I don't know what to say. Uranium. I'll give you uranium. That's a good resource, am I right? Okay, O2. 02, no? Do we don't have any of that? Oh, oxygen gen. Okay, ice 1,000. Never mind, to 10,000. Alright. Okay, where is it? Where's this oxygen generator? There it is. Okay. Oh. My top clip is Fortnite in it and has 14 views, and I don't know why I'm still keeping it. Still keeping it. Oh, yeah. Hold up. What is my top clip? I kind of remember it, actually. It's like, it's either Minecraft, okay, or SCP. Let's see. Content. Clips. Here it is. Clips. Clips of my channel. Views. Most viewed is another hacker in SCPSL. After that is Phantom the Hacker Part 4, then Landing Pad. Oh, I remember that one. That one was good. Not pressurized. Why isn't it pressurized, huh? Let's see. What happens if I were just to do this? Let's make this thing a little room. Can it pressurize this? That's the question. Oh, shoot. I removed the light. I just removed that as well. Great. Light. I have a Beat Saber clip that is my second most viewed. Nice. Okay. Oh. Air vent there. So let's give this its own enclosed space, so I can test this. So it doesn't test. It doesn't see this as a closed area for whatever reason. Where is the 100% though? Light. Great. Alright, let's try this. Oxygen. Oxygen generator. It doesn't have enough power, does it? And I have a highlight that shows the 7.1 earthquake that hit Cali that one time, if you had not heard it a while ago. Oh, nah, okay. Alright. Wait, where is it? Power blocks, there. I might have to push down a small reactor. Yeah, you know what? I'll do this. Now, conveyors. Alright. Uranium ingot 1000. I despise the entire notion, but it was agreed, and it shall be so. Oh my gosh. We just made peace again. Now, the question is it actually because of power? Ooh. This looks nice now. Not pressurized. 100%. So, let's see. So these are open. What do you mean this place isn't closed? I am not seeing any gaps or any holes where air could leave. I'm gonna hop on my PC BRB, okay? You know what? Let's repaste it. Dark Star. We can have the mirror, control panel, and the LCD. What is this? A wheel, okay. There. That's right, there's a door here. No, that's no door. Never mind. Thought there was, but there's not. Okay. Oh. There's a door back here, though, right? Where is it? Where is it? It's further back, right? Is it? I don't know. There. Here it is. There. What? Oh, shoot. I removed the other door. Alright, awesome.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I just saw your tiny merch store.
Yes, very small. But
That's
it has
pretty
some pretty
decent.
good stuff, wouldn't you say?
I especially like the mouse pad. About the old logo.
Mmm. Yeah, if I were to buy anything from my own merch store, I would buy a mouse pad because the one I'm using is a silhouette I made back in 3rd grade.
Impressive, actually.
Yeah, here, you know what? I'll show it on stream. This
Hold
thing, 3rd grade, right? I think this was 3rd grade. But I made this. Okay, so just fought Wither on a server. I made and learned a few
How
things.
you made
Awesome.
that in 3rd grade? That's my question.
What do you What do you mean?
How did you make that in 3rd grade?
Well, I painted it, and then the schools did something.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I need.
I like the old logo mouse pad. There's stickers.
You want to know something about the logo?
What?
That is actually the old logo, but redone. I redid it in 1.15.2.
Ooh.
So in fact, I'll share with you the original logo that I originally made, and then
I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the
Yeah.
original logo. I actually pretty liked because it was a pretty decent logo for an old version of Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's this version. So I just sent both of them to you so you can see them side by side.
The original one is just a little blurry, but who cares? It's the original. You know what I mean?
The original one is the new one is an exact replica of the original. Just about block to block. I'm pretty sure in the original one I used sand instead of but in the redone version I use other things. Wither skelt, what's it called? Red smooth sandstone and sandstone. Smooth sandstone, so yeah. Wither skeletons spawn when he goes into 2nd phase. You can hit / shoot the heads back at the wither. Oh. What?
Then I know what to do.
What?
Every time I stream, I could advertise your merch store.
You do what you do. I don't really care.
That's gonna be perfect, isn't it? Oh, hold on. I'm put that on then. Hold on. I'm gonna put it on.
Oh boy.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
gonna start
so-
streaming now, but like,
Where is it? Oh, okay, I'm on this asteroid over here.
I'm just gonna set it up.
So how do you like my ship?
Pretty decent.
Oh, I'm showing it off now on stream. You might not be able to see it
Wait,
yet, but
didn't you say it was the size of a football field or something?
no.
Or how big is it? I forgot.
It's not big. This is the first time you've ever seen it. Hold up, I'm gonna go grab some water.
Oh, okay, get some hydration. Okay. Right there. What was that?
Wow, you had a perfect opportunity to advertise yourself, and yet I come back and I hear silence. I'm actually surprised.
I'm not really much of that. I'm not really a horrible person. Like
Good
that.
old dihydrogen monoxide. The hydrogen monoxide, perfect.
Our
Dihydrogen monoxide. Alright.
What are you trying to say, Peter?
He's making a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, you want to know something?
What?
Okay, so I'm playing with this mod that basically enables this insane economy, because like there's now AI in this game that it will attack you if you attack it, and it will literally water exactly. And it's honestly, I'll have to show you because, or you can just go further back into the stream and see when I accidentally crashed into a facility, a mining facility, or trade facility, and they became enemies with me and started attacking me. Yeah, fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of process.
Yeah. In simple terms, I accidentally hit them, they attacked me back.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, okay. Band's ad.
Alright, let's see. Now I just need... Let's get these bombers in. Spawn in some bombers. Don't question why I'm placing in some bombers.
I don't.
Good.
I'm actually putting a little bit of an advertisement here for your store.
Oh boy, where?
In my Streamlabs thing.
Basically space road rage, exactly. Except it's a lot worse because not only did I get a team of the company on my back, but I also got the military. Let me just go into factions quickly. And here in, where is it? Yeah. There's the military forces. They were on my back as well. Is JC joining the Wither fight? No, he is not.
No. Yeah.
You still
They
need to
can't.
connect your account.
It doesn't let me.
You fool, of course it lets you. You're just not smart enough to realize how.
No, I'm actually trying to connect it. It just doesn't let me for some reason.
Exactly, you're not smart enough to figure out how. when all somebody can do is roast other people. Bruh.
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 Oh, there we go, and connected. Alright, Control A, Alt to me, got it. So yeah, now I've got 2 bombers on my ship. Now, ooh, drones.
I
Maybe.
forgot I had VR chat in this computer.
Yeah, I have VR chat on my headset, but I just don't use it.
So you don't play VR chat in the headset?
No, I don't. I haven't used the headset in quite some time. Usually I just let my family and others play with it.
Mm.
Plus, all the good games are on PC.
Don't worry, one day it's gonna come.
Yeah, one day.
You just need to wait.
Yep.
The thing is, Rec Room is still pretty fun. It's just that you need to find the right games.
Alright. I need to connect this drone up to the floor. Okay, remote access, control. Alright. Just connect it, connect, come on.
I forgot. I also had the Oculus app in this picture in this computer too.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, okay. That was almost horrible. I just was thinking, what should my profile picture be? Yeah, you should get one. I have mine, and it's nice. I mean, even JC says it's nice, so you know it's nice when he says it's nice.
I'm a person to actually be good in
Wait, what the heck?
actually-
Where'd it go? Okay, there
No.
it is.
You know what? Okay, I'm not even able to manage to get a picture at least of it, of the merch store or whatever.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Well, I'm trying.
I'm trying to get this thing on this connector so I can use it and go into hyperspace with it and stuff.
Remember that time I lost 10 quarters?
Yeah. Dude, did you not see my announcement? I made an announcement saying I was doing another one today.
I know. I like it. I'm just like, well, I lost 10 quarters, and you're like, yeah, lol.
Yeah, but did you not see the one today?
Don't want to.
I opened, I did one today.
Oh, I didn't realize that one was there actually.
Yeah, it was. You could take a guess at which game I was going to be playing tonight. As you can tell, it's a little too late, as I have already decided.
Ben's merch ad. Oh, there we go.
Okay, well, I guess I can't really connect it to that, so.
This card.
Okay. Perfect. It's now connected. Now let's connect another
What's
one.
now connected? What's now connected?
A drone.
A drone.
Yes, a drone. You heard me correctly. Oh boy.
Okay.
Why can't I control this one? Uh-oh, wait. Oh, okay, oh, that explains it. Me, yes. You should get space engineers.
Hold on, let me take a look at Space Engineers.
It's fun, and if you do get it, you can play with me.
Okay.
And do like the weirdness that I'm currently doing.
$20. Jeez, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How much did you buy Minecraft for?
Uh, $20 too.
Yeah, exactly.
It used to be $5, but whatever.
Yeah. I remember those good old days.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
did you know, if I get this correctly, when you reach affiliate, you could start advertising on your streams.
Yes, I can. I will be able to do that. Not only that, but I will unlock actual channel points and not have to use like a third-party software. Cough cough stream elements cough cough.
It's kind of cool. It's like you're able to, in a way, in a sense, it's not really cool, but it's kind of cool. Where you're able to make a display on your live stream to advertise and earn money.
Hmm. Hey, hold up. I'm going to be a little distracted here as I try to get this ship on this connector. Why can't I get it? Okay, I'm stuck in
I
here.
wonder who's the first to get us an item from your merch store.
So far, nobody. And if
No,
anything, it might actually just be me.
No, I'm just I'm just making a bet on who's gonna be first to buy something.
Got it.
Because I actually feel like getting the mouse pad.
You want to know something? You see how much they cost, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, you know, I don't earn all that profit.
You don't earn all of it?
No, I only for the mouse pad, I believe I earned $6.10 of it.
How come?
Expenses from Stream Elements, because it is run off of them, and I don't mind, honestly. I'm doing this more for the community and not for the money.
I mean, I don't really care if I don't earn money, but like, as long as I make people enjoy, be happy, then that's it.
Ship fuel low.
But if I do need money to run the streams and stuff, then maybe
Yeah.
a little bit.
All right.
It's just that. Here's the thing. It's just that at a certain point, as a streamer, you will need to start earning money.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like, that's gonna be kind of the hard part. Because you don't want to be earning money too early, but you don't want to be earning money
Too late.
yeah, too late.
I
Because
wonder if I could place this here.
because the more later, the more
No.
there's a certain point. Like I said, there's a certain point where you're gonna need that money. So you could improve, make it better, and yeah.
No fuel.
Oh yeah, I also saw your answer to my question.
What question?
About what's gonna happen and stuff after you go to college.
Oh, yeah. Nothing too special, huh?
Sounds about right for a regular person.
Yeah. Well, which is what I am. Cough, 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 cough. Totally not a secret agent working for the CIA.
Totally not me. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing. My question was, well, I'm just basically sharing this to stream only, basically. The question was, when you get a job and earn money, what will you spend the money, or will you save it? And what are you gonna do to your streaming when you go to college? That was my question.
Mm-hmm.
Ben's answer
Yes.
for the first question,
Yes.
I'll probably save up what I don't need for when I am in college, and use some to give back to the community. For the second question, I'll try setting up a schedule and try following it. Random streams might just happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I do now, even though you forget I have a schedule.
True.
I mean, you didn't even realize I was streaming.
I mean, at the same time, I didn't get a notification.
And whose fault is that?
Oh, no wonder. My notifications aren't on for you for some reason.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
Mine. Minecraft
Alright.
Dungeons, wait, what?
What?
Minecraft Java, there's apparently something called Minecraft Dungeons.
Have you not heard of Minecraft Dungeons?
No, I don't keep up to date with things.
Minecraft Dungeons is a dungeon explorer that Mojang is making, based on Minecraft. Like, you know how we have Minecraft Earth, right?
Yeah, oh, something like that.
Yeah, except it's, you can have, you know, Stargate could play together because it allows up to 4 players.
Nice.
So,
Wait,
dude, what do you think
so-
of my, my docking bay right now?
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I've got 2 bombers in the back, 2 explorers or interceptors in the middle, 2 gunners on the front left, and 2 drones in the front right. Oh wow, that was
Swifter just went offline.
what?
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 Huh?
Huh?
Hoi? Hoi 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 hoi.
Get that solid.
All right, now time to start decorating this place. So, because I installed a decor pack, so I'm gonna use that. All right, you know what? This will be my bedroom. It's right next to a window. Ooh. All right, we need a door for this.
Ben, it's your daily teaching of Spanish. You want to learn?
No.
Okay, good.
It's just like, no, okay. But I'm gonna tell you anyways. Ooh, I can get a Mortal Kombat arcade machine. And I'm also going to get Space Invaders, because, yes.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, Space Invaders. Have you played the classic Space Invaders?
Yes, I have. I believe.
Well, like
I
they're
hope.
they're very, very classic.
I think so. I've played the arcade machines.
I'm just gonna doodle around in a world.
Oh yeah, dude, you'll never guess what mod I have installed currently as well.
Stargate.
Yeah, okay, you guessed. It's just like, you'll never guess. Immediately guesses.
You already told me about it, remember?
Yeah, I know. I know. Alright, left aligned.
You know what?
Perfect.
Hold on. Where?
You should get the game.
Okay, calm down. Oh, I should really lower down the frame rate to about 60 FPS.
What are you talking about?
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about nothing.
About what?
Hold on. Nothing. Slash effects.
Oh, you're playing Minecraft?
Give me speed.
Yeah, he's definitely talking about Minecraft.
Yeah, no, there.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear you earlier, so I didn't realize that's what you were talking about.
For, I don't know, about 1,000 seconds.
There.
Level 100 actually, and true. Oh, I don't like this.
What did you do?
Oh, oh. So you know the FOV
Yeah.
in Minecraft? So I put it to Quake Pro, and and you know when you get speed, it also does that little it also does affect your FOV too.
Mm-hmm. You gave yourself like speed 100, didn't you?
Yeah, and then that I'll just stream it in the channel real quick.
Nah, don't
Wanna
worry
sh-
about it. I know what it looks like. You're not the first one to try it.
It looks like you're in the fourth dimension. No, it looks like you're in a different dimension.
Just like deja vu. I just spent this.
Dude, it's everything is so magnified. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
Oh, I found a village.
How long
I'm
did
a
you
pro-
find it for?
I just barely found it. I'm in a super flat too, so Jesus Christ. I go so fast the chunks can't even load.
And that's when you know you are going far too fast.
Meow.
Meow.
Hold
Meow.
You know what? I'll go maximum 265. Let's go.
You know, there is a limit, right?
Oh wait, no, that's not 265. 255. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, even with that, there's still a limit.
Yeah, I know what that limit is. Actually, you can only go so fast with.
Yeah. You
with-
can
with-
only go so fast.
Yeah. There's only a big enough effect for a potion effect or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. What was that? Was that a whale? I think I just heard a whale. Yeah, you lost it. Alright.
Jeez,
You know
go
what?
so fast. And when you jump while you're going as fast, you go faster.
Dude, you're not the first one to discover this.
I know. Jesus Christ.
Alright.
I feel like streaming Skyblock, Minecraft.
Alright. I got a giant 45 by 45 block of obsidian in Minecraft now to make art. Oh no.
Wait, not right now, but like probably tomorrow.
Alright.
You want to join me?
Maybe.
Some,
You know, this is a pretty cool door.
some Hypixel, Skyblock.
Oh wait, no,
do
I can't. I forgot. I'm going to be doing an NPM stream. We're going to be fighting
Oh
the
yeah,
Wither.
because you guys are gonna go against the Wither, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Sunday.
Sunday. No, maybe Sunday for that.
I feel bad for this golem. It's dying. It's getting absolutely destroyed by these. Oh, it just died. Pumpkin. I feel bad for this golem that just died.
Alright, I just made the crew quarters. I should
Wait,
add a
what?
button on the inside so that you can open it from here. I mean, I could just trap my crew inside their own quarters. If I had a crew. Alright.
You're the only crew member.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think ahead of time. Like, you could be the person in these, the crew quarters.
I mean, at this moment, I could become the crew member.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, it's actually quite cozy.
Okay, you know what? What is the command? Hold on. What is the command for the airstrike? Hold on, let me search.
For the airstrike, dude, that's not a command.
No, there's a certain command.
Are you
could
talking
use.
about /nuke?
No,
Wait, are
not
you
that.
playing on a server, on your own server, or are you playing on a single-player world?
I'm just dueling around in a single player world.
There is no command for that, dude.
No, hold on. There was a certain thing.
Is it like summoning a creeper? Because I've done that before.
Oh, I forgot. You could do the supercharged creeper.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get some creepers then. What's that command to make a stick or something? Shoot lightning or something? I forgot what it was.
I don't know.
You don't know either?
I can't remember.
Because you know which one I'm talking about, right?
No.
Okay, good. Because it's a pretty OP.
Wait, are you
Hold on,
talking
I
about
just-
like a knockback stick? Or the debug stick?
No, not the debug stick.
Oh.
It's the stick that when you every time you strike, it summons lightning.
Dude, that is not a command. I'm sorry to tell you. No, Power Tool doesn't work for him because he's on a single player world. It doesn't have any mods unless he installed some.
Lightning stick.
JC, I'm sorry to... I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you can't do any of that.
Oh, ooh, you can. Oh, interesting. Oh my god. Oh. Oh.
Where is it?
That is so cool.
Ooh. Ooh, that looks nice. Alright, well, my ship's ready. We are
That's
going to
pretty
depart.
neat. That's pretty neat.
Yep, I finally finished. Alright.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm not I'm not talking to you, sorry.
Ah, shoot. Did I just do that? Oh, no.
I forgot, there's a scoreboard. Well, boy.
Okay, we're all good. Alright. Okay, there is no jump drive. Okay, jump drive. I'm gonna need to install this somewhere on the ship. Whoops, not what's supposed to happen. Yeah. perfect. It fits perfectly. Oh my gosh. No regrets.
Summon.
Hey, hold up. Is this thing like considered not a ship, but
Lightning bolt. Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh,
I made
okay,
a
no,
witch.
it's
I
not.
made a witch by accident.
Oh boy.
Ben, I actually made a witch.
Oh, okay, I understand now. It's just extremely slow at turning, and it needs more power.
No wonder I had no sound. You shall die.
So, reactor. Let's see. Only small reactors, and they're all being filled up, so. Nice thing, after all of that event, I haven't heard back from the EXMC.
Wait, what?
So you know how I was at war with somebody, with a company?
Yeah.
They were the EXMC, the Extraterrestrial Mining Corporation. And so they were after me because I accidentally crashed into one of their stations. However, after the conflict was resolved, they haven't contacted me again, which I guess is good.
I'm
All
just
right.
striking people with lightning.
Oh boy. This thing turns extremely slow. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Where's the jump drive? Jump drive, jump drive. I placed it in. There it is. Jump drive. Recharge on off. Jump. Decrease and increase.
Oh yes, Ben. I made the ultimate weapon.
Oh boy, what did you make?
I may have not made a 3x3 lightning square.
Oh boy.
If you know what I mean.
Not really right now, but maybe. I kinda am trying to turn a giant ship. This thing is massive, is what I'm trying to say. Oh no. And I've been turning the wrong way. Okay. Let's see. Let me look around me. Where should I go? There's that thing, but is there any, like, stations around me? No, there's not. Alright, where's the moon? I want to head to the moon. 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 I'm not spotting the moon.
That.
I bet I could take on this ship. I'm not going to, though, because I know what happens if you do. What is it carrying? That's my question. Does it, like, have anything good inside of it? That's what I want to find out.
Oh my god.
Ooh, there's cargo. There's lots of stuff in here. There's a bridge. Okay, then you know
Where's
what?
that summoning? Why is there so many mobs?
Is this the moon? Okay, I guess this is the moon. Great, so looks like I'm going around the planet. Well, you know what? Actually, I've got a better idea.
So you want to know what I made?
No, not really, but you're going to tell me anyways.
No.
Oh, really? Okay, then tell me.
Okay, so what I did is,
Where is my ship? Shoot.
I made a command where, every time I activate the command block, is summons lightning in a 3x3 area.
Hmm. Yeah, that's easy to
So,
do.
yeah. One time I did it by 10x10.
Yeah, that is extremely easy to do. I've made it where TNT is summoned on arrows.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's nowhere near my location.
Oh, look, meteors. Okay, well,
So then, that is 1150.
alright.
Oh, do I really have to? Oh my god.
Now that I'm here, where are planets? What happened? What just happened to them all? That's my biggest question.
I'm causing a lot of lightning to happen.
Alright. Where's my water bottle? There it is. I've apparently got enough power to last me 60 days.
Oh, I just like that. Hold F3 to crash the game. Hold F3 and C to crash the game. That's kind of funny.
Okay, there it is. Planet spotted. Apparently the engines are destroying my sound. Oh, what's that? What's that? The Civil Hornet XL. What is it? Wait, where'd it go? Oh geez, I made it far away from the planet already. You know what? Might as well go check out what this thing is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is already. Alright. Initiate jump. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoosh. Target in sight. Oh wait, it goes like, it's this view. Okay. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. What do these buttons do? I want to know. I can't tell. And oh, look, there's somebody in the seat. I was hoping it would lead me to something more exciting, but I guess not. Oh, where's the planet? Planet. Oh. Ooh. I just found my next mission. Okay, turn. Why are these things so hard to turn? Jump. We're jumping, boys. We're jumping. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Frick, I had enchanted bread.
Whoosh. Dude, I'm going into combat.
Okay.
Boy, this is not going to be good.
So that's
Uh,
where's the recipe book?
so, does this thing have any Gatling turrets? Oh, it does have turrets, right.
Oh wait, never mind. Enchanting.
Alright. It's time to go survey this outpost.
Make it interesting.
Dude, I might just be about to get into a battle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, open the front hangar.
Smelting touch. Just need $5 coal.
Hold up. Which connector do we need to disconnect? I'm gonna check which connector this is. Right here.
Wow. A Yeti. That's. Oh my god, a Yeti sword is too OP.
Drone connector 1. Alright. There we go. Uh-oh. That's not good. There's an SPRT antenna behind me. Which means I'm probably under attack.
Oh no, I'm getting attacked by the mobs that spawned on my island.
Slash inv 184mm. Let's add 1,000. Okay, maybe not 1,000. Let's try 100. Okay. Alright, thankfully it looks like we're safe for now. That SPRT antenna isn't giving me any troubles yet. Alright. Remote access. The drone. Recon drone. Wait, what? There's an escort drone. What? Oh, yeah, off there.
Which is fine.
Is it? Oh, it's a little drone with a gun.
A drone with a gun.
It's a little drone with a gun.
It's gonna exterminate me.
Dude. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is that
What happened?
no, that's not a warhead. Thank goodness. Wait, where'd it go? Where'd the little drone go? Oh my gosh, it smashed into the shield. Okay, I see now. Uh-oh. That's no good. 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 Oh wait, F6K, info, antenna. All of them. Broadcast 50,000. Oh, looks like I've got to go grab it. $10.10K. Oh. Yeah, that drone is far gone. It's gone. Oh, that's no good. No. Drone.
Perfect amount. Now I just need to go to the farm, harvest some sugar cane. Wait,
Ow, how'd I die to that?
I think I have at least 3. I do not.
Again, I die again. Wow, I'm good at this.
You really are, Ben.
Exactly. That's why I keep dying. I'm just too good. Got it. Remember, don't use jetpack. That's a bad idea. Hey. I definitely put that on. Alright. Let's do this thing. Antenna. Let's go 50,000 meters. Oh, that explains it. My dampeners were off. Alright, we're getting 3 enemy signals. I'm gonna go check it out, see what it's all about.
Nice.
Oh, no. Well then, I guess this means war.
Wait, what?
This means war. This means war.
Wait, what happened?
So I'm looking at a nearby space station that is supposedly enemy. It is, and I am about to go attack it because it destroyed one of my drones. So in conclusion, it was stupid. It now pays for its mistakes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Alright, controller. Invisibility green, visible on hit. Okay. Okay, good. I do have ammo. Alright, here we go. Here goes nothing. Okay. Turret spotted. Turret spotted. Uh-oh. Going in. Going in. Turret destroyed. Turret destroyed. No, where's the other turrets? Oh, there they are. Did I just liberate this base in seconds? I think I did. Oh, no.
Wait, what happened?
I'm attacking an enemy base.
Really?
Yes, and I believe I just liberated it in seconds.
Like seconds?
About a minute. No,
Exposed. Just
I mean, it was much faster than I
oh
originally
my god,
expected.
this is a lot of people in shell shock right now.
Oh, jeez. Right. Okay.
And
I'm
I
gonna
gotta
just.
tell you, there's a lot of people in shell shock.
All right. Uh-oh, that's not good, get out, power up the shields, okay, yes, that was no good. Alright, where am I? Okay. So wait a second. It's about to self-destruct, I think. At least that's what it said on the panel. Let's see, where is that panel? Oh hey, this place is actually quite nice. Too bad it's self-destructing. Oof. Although I did damage it quite a bit. Let's see, where is that panel? Here it is. Self-destruct initiate. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to do it, though. I mean, it's not doing anything. So I'm gonna go in. Ugh, great. There it goes! Alright, let's see. Did my ship take any type of damage? Uh-oh. I see now. Okay, let's see. What type of damage did my ship take? So it's got bullet holes, so, but that's normal. Okay, yep, it didn't take much damage. The SPRT Smuggler's Legacy. Oh. Alright, where is my ship? Oh, geez, there's the recon drone. You know what, I'm gonna go try getting a bomber for my ship so I can perform a bombing run on this thing. Because why not?
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, you're back.
Yeah, I was back a while ago.
Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. That would have been bad if we crashed.
What happened?
Oh no, oh no, oh. Okay, I didn't crash. We didn't crash. That's good. Oh geez, why isn't it not slowing it down? Okay. No. Okay. No. Okay. I got a bunch of bullet holes in my ship.
But barely any damage.
Actually, no damage because I had a shield. Oh, no. Okay. Alright. Let's see how easily I can do this maneuver. I'm trying to maneuver myself back into my ship. This is not going to be easy.
Oh my god. Bruh.
What?
Oh my god. How we know I was there?
Alright, you're playing Shell Shock.
Yeah. There's a lot of people playing, so if you wanna flex, come join.
Nah. I'm kind of, in the middle of something. Okay. And connected. What is that? Yes, the Smuggler's Legacy. Ooh, that sounds important. Alright. Alright, wait, what's in here? Cool. Oh, look, it's a wheel trader. It's a wheel trader. Alright. Time. Oh, yeah, no. I wanted to do this. Close the front, open the left. It's time to go on a bombing run. Alright, you know what? This one's gonna have to move. Hey, hold up. Where is it? Okay, it's going past, but where is that station? Oh no, don't tell me the station's destroyed itself. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Where is my ship? Okay. Okay, I see now. Oh, there it is. Alright, I'm going in for a run. Don't worry about what type of run it is. It's
Explosive
just a
run.
Yeah, it's just a run, just a basic run.
Yeah, totally.
Shoot, how do I release the bombs? I didn't realize how, I don't know how. Batteries, reactors. Oh, that works as well. You know what? I've got an idea. The ship is broken now, so I'm gonna do this. Where's the bombs? Wait, is this even a bomber? It said it was supposed to be. Wait, hold up. No, wait. Was this one the bomber? Was it another one? I've got... Yeah, here. This is a new fighter bomber. Fighter bomber. Okay, where are the bombs is my question. Oh, I see. I see now. We're supposed to pick them up. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, you know what? Warheads. You know what? I'm just going to destroy this station by hand, if I must. Just don't go too fast, too hard into any of these. They will all blow up and you will be dead. Okay. Go, 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 go. Oh! Well, I made something. I'll post it in Discord. Okay, I'll go check it out. Once you post it. Dude, I just destroyed this base. I feel great now. Oh, random. Amazing. Wait, that's in Minecraft, I just realized. Yeah, look at that. That's wool, obsidian. Oh, that's what you were talking about,
That
isn't it?
guy's gonna be absolutely annihilated.
All
three. Oh, jeez. Ow.
And I'm gonna grab this ship here. I'm gonna dock it in the back. go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. There we go. And connected. It's now locked in. Alright, let's see. Then... I wonder what I should make now. That's your decision. As in, the older fighter bomber in the fleet, it is equipped with 2 reloadable rocket launchers and a big nuclear reactor for the longest possible endurance in combat. It will be your best friend for large-scale bombing raids. The ship may be favorized by some nostalgic pilots with aesthetic taste, but looking at the statistics, the newer fighter bomber Gungnir is more cost-effective. All labels now in English, okay? You know what? I'm gonna take this outside as I spawn it in upside down.
You spawned it in upside down.
Well, compared to the ship, yes. But because there really is no upside down in space... Uh-oh. Where am I? Why am I going towards the planet? Why am I just falling? There is no gravity in space. Okay, let's see. How does it... Okay, so I'm guessing those landing legs are to pick up the bombs. Ho ho. Let me try this out. Uh-oh. That doesn't look like good.
Ooh, I just ranked up. Nice. Ooh, I'm so close.
Yeah, there's an enemy ship coming towards my ship.
Ooh, nasty. That was nasty kills, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh,
Dang it.
I
Get
just won us the
those
coalition.
bombs.
I just won us against the Red Army.
Nice.
I got
Okay.
the last kill, that's why.
Oh, nice. That's still good.
Yeah.
So why, how do I connect the bombs to this thing?
Ow, I got hit hard. I'm guessing that was a headshot.
Okay, let's see. Landing gear. Auto lock. True. Dude. I've done it. I've connected up 2 warheads to my bomber ship.
Two, like nuclear bombs type of thing.
No, sadly not nuclear, but warheads. So now, whoever I come across is going to have a bad time. Megalovania starts playing.
Oh, shit.
In fact, I'm going to go test this thing out right now because I don't trust it. I'm arming the warheads early so that when I'm ready I can release them. And then I'm going to fly this thing over and over the old base of the old pirate base, and hopefully it works. fact, I'm gonna take these and hey, hold up. I need something to test it on, I'm realizing. Oh no, JC? Was that you?
What?
It was you.
What?
The song.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So what if it was me?
Why? Just why?
Why am I still in enemy territory? Oh god, I should have been dead like 5 minutes ago. How am I still in here? I was like AFK for like a second. I don't know how I'm still in territory. Jesus Christ.
You were AFK requesting that song. Also, I don't know what happened to my bombs, but they are no longer around me. And I need to get into a fighter quickly. Or else things might not be going so well for me. Go, go, go.
Should I continue as a soul or should I turn into recon right now?
I don't know. What map are you playing on?
Apartment map or Najee.
Then say Assault. Recon absolutely sucks on that map. I'm going for it.
Ooh. Bro, I'm so close to dying.
Wait, where'd it go? Signal's gone.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Signal's gone cold. I'm not receiving it anymore.
Ooh, Jesus Christ. Oh god. Oh god, Ben.
What?
There's a full-on war going on.
What do you mean?
There's literally a battlefield where everybody's just fighting.
Uh-oh. Slow down! Slow down! No! Stop! 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 Okay. That was a little too close for comfort.
How am I still even alive? I'm still in the battlefield in the middle of it and I'm still alive. Tell me.
I can't tell you anything. All I can tell you is I nearly just got myself and my ship destroyed. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I finally got Mark.
I need a new drone. Let's see. Where are the drones? Here it is.
Oh, he was 7 health. Come on.
Okay, right. Me, yes.
Come on. He was 7 health. How did he not die? Maybe Donald Trump.
Alright, well, we've successfully docked another drone.
Good job, I guess.
Huh?
Good job, I guess.
Why, thank you, sir. It was really difficult. Alright, I need to find a good ship for basically just ramming. I want a ship that can ram. Alright, what's this?
Ooh.
Grinder pig. Oh.
Oh. How did he know I was there?
You probably killed him and he probably knew where you were.
Well, oh. He somehow got me.
Somehow, I'm pretty sure it's quite easy to see how.
I mean, he was shooting at me a little bit, but I went behind a wall and I died. I mean, that's game logic, isn't it? Ow. Die a violent death.
Alright, let's see.
Oh my god.
You know what? Those spots can be left open for now. I have nothing to put in them. Even the bombers aren't good enough. Alright, time to open the front. Or close the front.
Where are they? I thought I killed him. But he killed me.
Oh, good job.
I missed every shot. Ow, that hurt. That kinda hurt.
So now the question is, where do I go?
Oh my god, I got double T.
I seriously don't know where I should be going because...
Me too.
No, I'm gonna go check out on this military transport up here. Jumping. 8, 7, 6, 5,
Oh no, they're
4,
pushing us.
3, 2, 1. Slow down, slow down. That's a military transport, for crying out loud.
Oh, why are they on the side of us? Why are they in our side?
Alright, now where do I go? Just military transport.
Oh my god. This is just an absolute war zone, man.
Yo, this is a nice ship. The military here has got some pretty nice ships, I must say.
Oh my god.
Many
we have a spawn-
connectors.
No, stop. We have a spawn camper. Spawn.
Then kill them.
I'm trying to. What do you expect? He's a spawn camper, so he's gonna kill me immediately.
Well, not immediately if you're good enough. Clearly, it sounds like you're not good enough.
I mean, you're not too, so...
I'm sorry, how many spawn campers have I taken out?
I don't know your, shell shock career.
I'll tell you this, many. Alright, so now the question is, where's that planet? Because, okay, so it's behind me, right? Yeah, it's behind.
You're still playing that space engineer game.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
I mean, I'm just saying you're still playing it. That's it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Jeez.
Alright, let's see. This thing is ruining my headphones just because of the amount of sound.
Damn, how far did this person go? Oh,
So now where am I facing? Still need to go to the left a little. All my ships are connected, right? Yeah, they are.
ooh, shadow chest.
Shadow chest, what?
Nothing. Nothing. Didn't hear anything, Ben.
Oh, I heard something.
You didn't hear anything.
Oh no, I heard something. About a shadow
you didn't.
chest. Oh,
No,
too
you
far,
didn't.
too far, too far! There's the planet. Increasing jump distance. Let's go maybe 200 kilometers.
Oh, have you played Blackhawk?
Recently,
Okay.
no.
They've updated it a lot, man.
Alright, I'm
Black-
making a jump
wait,
into
hold on.
Mars.
Wait, hold on. Last one was Operation. Dude, they changed the operation. Right now it's Operation Nightfall. It used to be Operation Outbreak, didn't it?
I don't know.
For Blackhawk.
I don't know, dude. I told you I'm gonna edit a video now. Have fun. All right, see you, man. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, is that a refinery? Yo, that's a refinery. I'm gonna see what they have to offer. It's a 15-kilometer jump, so I'll have enough power, hopefully. It's staying at 5 kilometers. What the heck? Okay. You know what? Let's see. Jump. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's why it still needs to charge. Alright. Well, guess I just wait a little and let it charge. It's only at 76%. Jeez. You know what? Let's get a nice LCD panel in here as well. Place it somewhere. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't place it anywhere. Got it. You know what? I'll place it right here. Now, can I see, like, you know what? How about an analog clock? That sounds good. Okay. Alright, let's see. Guess it's still charging. Jump drive. It is currently at... Okay, it's still charging, yep. 26 seconds until full charge. 20 seconds. Yep, this is when it gets boring. You know what? I got a bedroom here for a reason. Time to sleep. While I wait. Oh, excuse me for a moment. Alright. There we go. Alright. Let's charge it to. Let's jump to 15 kilometers. Make the jump. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump. Alright, refinery spotted. Alright, we're going to stop here. I'm going to head downstairs and go grab a ship and get ready to go see the refinery. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Open up hangar right. Alright, good.
Oh yeah, Ben, have you heard the game Elite Dangerous?
What? No, I have not.
You haven't? Oh,
Alright, off to the refinery.
that's a bummer.
Why are my engines all so powerful? They're too powerful. I'm here on a friendly mission. Please don't start shooting, even though I might accidentally damage something. Whoa. Okay, I did not expect that.
Oh my god, they really did change Blackhawk.
Dude, I just got onto the station and it's playing music. Oh my gosh, this is going great. Oh yeah, Oh, look, the music's gone. Ooh, what's this? I don't know. I can't see what any of that does. Aw, access denied. Alright, what's this? Oh, it's the medical room. Alright, I'll heal up here. Aw. Aw, I can't get into the cryopods. What type of facility is this? Oh, look at this! They've even got advertisements! This just keeps getting better and better.
Wait, what?
This, thing. I found this refinery. Now, you know what? I'm going to do a quick save. And I am going to do some stupid things. Things that are going to get me shot at. Attack! Shoot it up! Okay, I'm going. Uh-oh, ouch, I'm dead. I knew it'd get me in trouble. And so now, there's no holding back. It's time to attack. Go, go, go! Get into your battle stations! Uh-oh. Oh! Where's the shots? Or the shots? Oh my gosh. I tore that thing apart. Goosh. Oh. I'm tearing my enemies apart with my firepower. With my sheer firepower. Although my shield's about to go down, which is no good. Ah, gosh. I'm almost out of ammo. Okay, there we go. So, where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Uh-oh. Oh, there. That's why. Oh, my shields are about to go down.
Shield has overloaded.
Yep.
Starting in 20 seconds.
I'm dead. Just as I had planned, they attack.
Ben,
What?
I should be sleeping now. I'll see you later.
Alright, see you, man.
Yeah.
I'm safe now. Actually, wait a second. My ship's still safer. I think. Hopefully. Uh-oh.
Shield has overloaded. Restarting in 20 seconds.
You know what? It's time for Plan A. Or Plan B, more or less. Get near. Dampeners on. Fill this thing with warheads. Oh, jeez! It works. Ugh. What? Oh, that's why. Okay. I'm going for it. It won't be able to hit me, so that should be good. Ugh. Got it. Okay, warheads. Warheads. And back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Shield has overloaded.
Oh.
Restarting in 20 seconds.
Oh. You thought you could take me. You didn't account for the fact that, oh, I don't know, maybe I am powerful. Warheads. Back up, beckoning up, beckoning up. Boosh. It is
Shield has
explosion.
overloaded. Restarting in 20 seconds.
Okay, come on. Just a few more blocks. Don't worry about it. Got it. Alright. Warhead. Okay.
Has
Warheads.
overloaded. Restarting in 20 seconds.
No. And then I back up and then die, apparently. Okay, you know what? I'll just use these doors because I have them. Ha ha ha, you fool. You have fallen straight into my own trap. My trap has been set. There is no escape now. After all, once I set a trap, escape is impossible. Alright, well, let's just, warhead, all of them, start, arm, run away! Oh, ho. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. I've done it. I've created the infinity explosion. And I've literally gotten rid of that entire thing. Okay, you know what?
Swarm inbound.
You know what? Alright, you know what? That's enough, I think. Okay. Bye! Wait. Isn't that the one I just put a bunch of bombs on? Where are all my bombs? Oh. Or is it this one? I don't know. Wait, is it that the same one? It is, isn't it? This just survived somehow. You know what? Fine. Fine. If you don't stop moving, I'll start hacking you. So I start doing this as well. Okay. Oh, darn. That's like my 4th death now. Alright. How'd I go? So, the ship's been destroyed a bit. However, nothing too bad. Now, we fly it towards that station. What just happened? I'm sorry, what just happened? Did one of my ships like just disconnect and go flying back? No, that one was already missing. There were none on this. This one. No, wait, no, that one was destroyed. What just happened? How did that just happen? How did a giant hole just appear here? You know what? Fine. Okay. Repair the hole. Well. Guess there's nothing else left to do. Except attack. Alright, okay, right, going for it. The lag. Uh-oh. That's not good. Just stay away from the gun blasts. Start hacking, all 3 of you. Meanwhile, I'll start placing. Apparently not. Alright, well, that's where I'm going to end today's stream. No, I do not want to save. That was horrifying. Just shows me how much of that mod is actually really good. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That was tons of fun. Like, seriously fun. And it's midnight. Oh, great. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.